What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Main Issues. I'm Al Taylor, also known as the Act 24 on all social media, here with the one, the only, the greatest, the Dragonborn, DJ Williams. How you doing, DJ?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Just all right?
Yeah, just all right.
Oh, okay. What you got going on?
Had a bit of a party last night. My brother threw for a friend of his, which is actually one I think you played the game with Brandon.
Oh, yeah, I know Brandon.
So, yeah, he had a little party for Brandon.
He commented on the podcast a couple of times.
Oh, yeah,
a few
yeah,
times.
He is a fan of the podcast. Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, shout out.
But, man, I'm just coming back to around the time I text you, seeing if we were still on for the same time we talked about before.
Yeah.
Because you got to get together yourself. You got to get to, right?
Yeah, it's my mom's birthday today.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm late to your party. I want you to know that. So when you see this in the future, or hear this. What kind of party?
Just a little kickback, nothing over the top, just a bunch of friends of his and my brothers, and they was just all at my place or whatever. Well, me and my brother's place. So we were just
okay, so it was at your place.
Yeah. It was all just hanging out, drinking, eating, cutting up. But before that, I had some issues at work this week.
All right.
More than just, being busy.
What were the main issues of that?
The main issue was, as I've said before, I work for Red Bull. We drive diesel trucks. Big diesel trucks.
I don't know if you ever said you work for Red Bull.
I think I have.
I don't think you talk about work, but I don't think you actually said what it was. Yeah.
Well, I work for Red Bull. Well, or rather, I sell Red Bull, I guess I should say. But anywho, so we drive diesel trucks, and my personal vehicle is not a diesel truck. So whenever I gas on my personal vehicle, I put premium gas in it. So normally when I'm working, we're running around going 100 miles a second. And let's just say I thought I was in my car when it was time to gas up. This said diesel truck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I put the premium gas. I put the exact gas I would put in my car in the truck. And the truck was on E. And I had to deliver to an end mark, which I was at. So I was like, well, I might as well get gas while I'm here.
Not only did you put...
I filled the mug. I filled that mug up.
Oh, man.
So I'm pumping the gas. I'm sitting there, letting it, just filling up.
But to clarify that, how you could possibly make that mistake, it's a truck. It's not like a rig. It's not like a big 18. Yeah.
Granted, it's bigger than any truck somebody would be driving at home, but it's about the size. It's about the size of the UPS trucks. It's not the same type
it's
of
that
truck,
kind of truck. Yeah,
but it's about roughly the same size as theirs. So it's not like a big rig, or whatever.
More like a van kind of truck, like that. Like a moving truck. No.
Yeah, but actually, I do think that technically it does look similar to base does.
But it's smaller than that, isn't it?
No, trucks we have smaller trucks, but they're usually like if somebody's truck broke down and it's at the shop, so you need a spare truck. But for the most part, we have pretty big, full size trucks. Like you said, about they do look like they're modified from what they typically use for moving trucks. But anywho, so I'm pumping the gas. I let it just fill itself up, and I'm just sitting there. Because we're not allowed to leave the gas unattended, which you shouldn't do anyway, leave your gas pump unattended, but we're not allowed to even do that. Yeah. So I'm standing right there, letting it fill up, and I go to put the gas back on the hook, and I notice to my left there's a green diesel gas pump, and I'm just like, wait a minute.
What kind of feelings are going through your head as you're looking at that? Like,
I am a freaking moron. Yes, that's what was going through my head. So I, without even hesitation, just called my boss. I was like, hey, so I put the wrong gas in the truck. He was like, what do you mean you put it wrong? What gas did you use? I was like, I used premium. He was like, I don't even know what we're supposed to do. So he asked the warehouse manager. I can hear him over the phone, and he's just like, "Don't tell them to crank the truck up." And he was like, he said, "Don't crank the truck." I said, "Oh, that part I knew, not to crank that truck up, because if it would have got to the engine,
you realized it before."
Yeah, because if it would have got to the engine, it would have been a way bigger mess. So this now they just got a. Well, the mechanic was telling me after I got towed back to the place. To the shop, he was just like, okay, well, you didn't, he was like, you 100% sure you didn't crank it up? I said, I'm positive I didn't crank it up. And he was like, okay. He was like, good, that saves us a lot of work. Because he was like, since you did that, all we would have to do is check the fuel line to make sure none of it made it in there, because I said I filled it up. Right. And then he was like, basically just drain the tank. Yeah. So he was just like, okay, so that saves us a whole bunch of work. So whew.
Man, that's a good thing.
But that ended up eating me up the next day at work, because I was halfway through my stops for Thursday, so I had to finish those Friday. And I had, I don't know who the person was, but my boss told me he was going to have somebody to do my big stops for Friday. So all the big grocery stores and stuff I would normally have to do on Friday, they did for them, and I just had to hit the little stuff afterwards. So needless to say, when I got home, it was just enough time for me to wash and get to the party, because it was so late when I got home. Man, I know the dudes at the warehouse was mad at me because they can't go home until the last truck is refilled. Oh. Yeah.
Dang.
Granted, they come in much later than the drivers do. We have to be there at like 6. So they don't come in until like 9 or 10. So,
but the drivers can, no drivers are waiting on you.
No,
because
no.
You can go home as soon as you're done with your route.
Yeah,
right?
As soon as we're done, we get to go. So, but yeah, I know they was hot with me. Speaking of hot with me, my dad is not too thrilled that we went to the nerd news direction.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't like. He's not going. He hadn't commented or anything.
Maybe not on the podcast. Like, he commented to me.
Oh, he's talking to. He just
he will call me directly.
Okay, and
tell me where we are quote unquote fucking up is the terminology he so found of using.
Okay.
But constructive criticism, take it with a grain of salt. But hey,
what does he want?
Well,
he wants us to talk about black people getting shot every week. No, seriously.
Well,
what does he want?
He never specifically just said, but we were talking about some things. Like we ended up talking about some things. What we ended up talking about? We ended up talking about like just basically stuff that was going on. We were talking about how kids are getting arrested now for sexting. So he was talking about we that came up. What else we mentioned? I didn't tell him about the truck situation because I know he listens and he was gonna hear about it anyway. And I'd rather get his criticism later. But we ended up talking about a bunch of things, and he mentioned something that I didn't know, and then he made a comment. Well, maybe if you watch other news instead of just gaming news.
But that's the thing. Why would we be talking about stuff that we're not interested in? Not extremely interested in. I know it kind of sounds bad when it's like,
like I said, I just told him, I was like, well, I do, but you're just not gonna report on it.
Like I'm just not interested.
We'll cover something like that,
talking about that
like
kind of stuff.
If it's interesting or whatever. But, man, talk about that kind of stuff day in and day out, because it's always gonna be that kind of thing.
Man, like the first 5 episodes, I hated this. Like I hated it. I did not want to do the podcast. It's like, what we got this week?
Yeah, the bad stuff.
Like, now we. And it's like when we had Christina on, especially, like I really wish I would have been of the mindset that, we can just talk about whatever, because she had like stuff that she wanted to talk about that would be more in the range of where the show is kind of going now. And I was still trying to talk about whatever it was that the Destiny Harrison thing.
Yeah.
Where the thing.
Well, that is something she wanted to talk about, because before we even announced that she was going to be on, before we even, got 100% fact that she was definitely going to be on it, she asked me if I heard about it. She was like, please tell me y'all go talk about that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yeah, we'll cover that. But So I think that particular thing would have probably.
But I mean, I feel like
we should have focused more on her.
On her, yes.
But you live and you learn. This next time around, we'll do that. We have somebody on here. We'll make sure we focus more on them and not so much as our regular scheduled broadcasting type thing. So, but hey, growing pains.
It just fell off, especially when she was like, kind of promoting like the episode and having her people come watch, and I saw in her comments like how excited people were to see her on the show. It's like, and I'm like, oh man, they're gonna see this and we talk about her for all of 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like really, I was really disappointed in that episode. I mean, I'm hugely critical, but I felt like that could have been so much better.
Yeah.
Although my grandfather said he liked that episode.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I did too. But, there's always, again, like I said, we always can improve on different things. So we know next time we have somebody on, we won't make that mistake again. Guarantee.
Yeah. But again, and I need to say this kind of stuff in the beginning, but if you are a listener, if you are listening all the time, please send input. You can you can comment on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, and YouTube. Especially if you're watching on YouTube, please leave comments and say, you can say, oh, please go back to talking about more of the new stuff. I don't know what to call it. The horrible news stuff, really.
Right.
Yeah, go back to police brutality and stuff like that. Which I was gonna say that's probably like that second episode is probably the most listened to, but it's also one of the oldest and definitely better than the first episode. So I kind of think that's like more why that is, because it's been up for months, 2 or 3 months now. So, but I got one comment on that video this week on episode 2, and I sent a reply to the comment as soon as I saw it. Saying, the comment was like, oh, I really like this episode way more than the first episode. I should have had the comment pulled up. I didn't plan to talk about it, but she was like, I like that y'all kept it to an hour, and even though I don't play video games or watch shows like that, y'all got me really interested in the stuff that y'all are talking about. And I thought that was funny, being the top, like the main topic that episode was on. I mean, the title was that bad police officers always get to resign, and she didn't have anything to say about that. And this was a person we don't know, by the way, which is even more surprising. But yeah, I appreciate comments like that, and I could have used that when that episode, like as soon as that episode aired, because I can be like, oh, okay, so that was interesting. That's what this person was interested in. Maybe more people are interested in more stuff like that. I'm more interested in talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because that is my life. That is what I do.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Same here.
Yeah.
Like, we hear about all the bad stuff all the time, but you're not interested in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. It's tragic. Here it is again.
Yeah.
Like, and again and again and again. So,
and it's also plenty other people talking about that.
Yes.
And like, even like, of course, like the Breakfast Club or whatever is gonna hit on that and stuff, and you're gonna be going there for that kind of stuff. And so anyway, and for the people who know us, you can always still have these conversations with us anyway. So I don't know where I am with that. Like, if we get a bunch of comments saying that no, don't change, go back to doing all the news and stuff. Go back to the horrible news. We love that. We love that stuff. We love being miserable thinking about all this stuff. If they say that, then I'll be like, okay, I guess we gotta do it. Then I guess I'll bite the bullet. I'll just find something else to enjoy, because I want this to be something that we enjoy doing, because it's not, we're not doing this for profit right now. We're not making any money doing this. So and we both work full time. So I don't want to come home from the job that I am not particularly enjoying to come home and do something else that is work that I'm also not enjoying.
Yeah. Don't want to do that twice. back to back like that. Nah.
And I don't think you all want to hear that.
No, because it's going to show.
It's going to show. Like it apparently hasn't been showing as much as I feel it is, because I know like where my headspace is when I'm talking about things. So when I'm watching it back, it's like, oh. Like, obviously, like, I wanted to stop talking about that a long time ago. Yet we're keeping it going.
Yep. And I feel like we should say something on the Kobe Bryant thing. You know, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Everybody who lost their lives in the accident.
Yes. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a big basketball fan, but of course, Kobe Bryant is well known around the world. So, you know, so it's a big loss. I don't want to rattle on about it. Ain't really much more I can say.
Yeah.
As far as I know, you not that big of a basketball fan either. So.
I'm not. I never was. I'm a disgrace to my father for that. But
we're not gonna be able to list his legacies or whatever down. So all we can say is rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, he's a man of great achievements. And
same here.
Very much loved. Did you watch the Grammys?
No, I don't usually watch award shows. They don't do anything for me.
Grammys was lit this year. I felt.
I heard they did a tribute.
Yeah, they did it.
A few. Well, yeah.
Well,
a couple tributes.
Well,
who else had a tribute to them?
Here's the thing with that. This happened. The helicopter crash happened that same day, just hours before it. And so they had to start the show, you know, with that over it. Mm-hmm. And I thought Alicia Keys did a very good job of coming out and just getting that out of the way right up front. And then they had Boyz II Men come up and do
what did they sing?
What do you think they sung?
It's hard to say goodbye or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, what else you got?
Tear jerking hands. They got a few of those.
Yeah, but the thing with that is,
in the eyes of an angel.
Yeah, no,
with some battered puppies and kittens.
My thing with that was, there's a part in the song where you kind of do some
that.
I felt like there was a little too much of that It was a little too much of that stank on it. It was a tiny bit much though. I think you didn't hear it.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't hear it, but I can imagine. They can go overboard with that.
I thought it was a bit much. It was even like they were looking at him like I felt like there was a little bit of animosity towards that, a little, but it was nice. And Tiffany had never heard that before.
That song?
Yeah.
Dang, I'm surprised.
I'm like, this is like one of the most prolific, like, reminiscent songs, just tragedy song, whatever, funeral song. And apparently she had never heard of it. She was like, what are they singing? like, what are you talking about?
Oh, man.
It's just like, it just never came across for her, apparently.
Wow.
But
I know you played it for her.
Yeah, I played it for her later, and she was still like, I mean, she like, it sounds good. I just never heard it before. Yeah, so they did that tribute,
and then they did a tribute for him.
Usher did a tribute
at the game.
Huh?
There was a basketball game on last night, Lakers versus the.
Oh, Usher did a tribute for Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, Kobe.
Last night. Yeah. Oh, okay. But I was going to say Usher also did was involved in a tribute to Prince at the Grammys.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did hear that.
And then they did a tribute to for Nipsey Hussle later.
That I didn't hear about. That's cool.
Yeah. And so it was straight up a Nipsey Hussle tribute. I mean, obviously, lyrics and everything. It's Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
That's what the song they're saying is about. And, you know, they have him posthumously in the song. And then at the end, when they put up a big image of Nipsey Hussle, they put Kobe Bryant right beside him.
Oh, okay.
At the end for tribute to him. So they were like, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. And I wasn't sure how I felt about it.
Everybody say you do sound indifferent.
I just I get that this just happened. Yeah, because it was a whole thing. And
they already did one for
that
Kobe
was planned for.
Yeah,
it just seemed really tagged on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I'm very sad the man died, but I mean, he was still just a man.
Yeah. I guess because people don't
come
expect...
the hate comments.
I guess, people don't expect, for somebody famous to just randomly disappear like that. Or anybody for that matter. It don't even have to be famous or not. You react, oddly if any random person in your life just died from whatever car accident, plane crash, or who have you. But like you said, they could have kept that separate. I don't see any reason to tack that on.
Yeah.
But what's done is done.
Yeah, what's done is done.
Tasteful or not.
It's fine. I just thought it was a little in poor taste.
Yeah. It does sound like it was.
And just about the Grammys in general, I was blowed the whole night about the Grammys.
Wow, what happened?
Lizzo got snubbed, man, for all her nominations, man. She won 3, and I believe all
Wait,
3.
She won 3.
So
how you feel she got snubbed then?
It's 3 out of 8, and pretty much Billie Eilish took
Eilish.
the rest. Is it Eilish or Eilish?
It's Eilish.
Okay, I usually say Eilish, but I said Eilish because somebody told me it's Eilish. Okay, Billie Eilish took home the rest. So
I'm actually not surprised that happened.
Yeah, well, not all of them. It was a couple of them they weren't in the running for, but Billie took 5 out of the 6 she was nominated for. And I really like Billie Eilish, even though I don't know her name, apparently. Well, really like is strong, because I don't really get her so much.
Oh.
And I feel like, in the categories they were in, it's just like, how does that beat that? How does Bad Guy beat Truth Hurts? I don't see when those songs go up against each other. I don't see how somebody gets more out of that Billie Eilish song than Truth Hurts. Like, but of course I'm biased, of course. But I can't even understand the lyrics to the song because she's mumbling the whole time. It was like best album, best pop album, or best song or song of the year or whatever, and best pop solo performance was the one that Lizzo won over Billie Eilish. And yeah, I don't remember what the rest were, but those in particular where it was like song of the year, album of the year, or not album of the year, but well, there was album of the year too, but record of the year, which somebody please explain to me what record as opposed to song is.
I don't know if I know.
That's what
record, album, song. They could have.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't getting. The only thing I could think of is maybe a record could be something that was not necessarily a song, because they have best, like they have like best comedy album. So I didn't
know they did that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's awards for everything, but I didn't know they did that on the Grammys.
You know who take it home?
Who? Kevin Hart?
Boy, stop.
For real,
Dave Chappelle, since he came back.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Some comedy albums. I watch him on Netflix, but I didn't know he had a comedy album.
Yeah, his albums are pretty much. I don't want to say every. I don't want to say every stand up, but
I didn't know
a lot.
Had any out.
Yeah, a lot of comedy specials. Most comedy specials usually come out as albums as well.
Dave Chappelle's on Spotify for whatever reason that is.
Oh, because he's trying to get that money. They on Amazon. You can buy them for $20, whatever.
Yeah, won't be getting bought. Love you, Dave. Just under $20. But
it's not on Spotify.
Speaking of Netflix. Oh, did you want to go on further than what you were saying?
No, I'm good.
Speaking of Netflix, I got excited about some news and then got pissed off about some news.
What?
So Netflix announced they are having 21 movies from Studio Ghibli added to Netflix. 21 of these movies. Now, anybody who don't,
I have a branch off after this. Then,
Studio Ghibli is a big anime movie company. They only do movies. As far as I know, they have never done any shows, but they do movies. Some of the most popular movies will be Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo, and Princess Mononoke, to name a few. But and Spirited Away. I think Spirited Away is their most popular one, and the most mainstream one too, actually.
Yeah,
but
and Grave of the Fireflies is like their kind of Oscar baity one.
But 21 of their movies are being added, so I'm hyped because I haven't even seen 21 of the movies, and I love his movies, but their movies, because it's not just...
I definitely haven't seen 21.
Now, the part where I got pissed off at, I've probably seen about 5 or 6 myself, but the part I got pissed off at is they are going everywhere except U.S. and Canada. We cannot watch them.
Time to get a VPN.
Hey, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was going to ask you.
Sponsored by NordVPN.
But man,
I wish.
I was going to ask you. I was like, hey, can the VPN help you get access to that? And then watch it be some foolishness that you can't put the English dub. There's not English dub on there. So, but apparently, so through further research, I found out that we will be getting them whenever HBO Max launches, whenever that is supposed to be. That part I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, they're going to be releasing them in chunks these next few months. So this first month, they're going to drop, I think it was 8. And then at the beginning, matter of fact, today, today, they dropped them today. Again, not in the US, but on Netflix. So I think they dropped like 8. I don't remember exactly which 8, but then they're going to drop more at the beginning of the next month and so on and so forth until they get to those.
Wait a minute. So Netflix is involved with HBO Max?
That's a good question because that's exactly what the article I see. So I don't know whether Netflix is or whether Studio Ghibli got something going on with them.
Yeah, because I don't think they're in the...
I wouldn't think...
What it probably is HBO Max snatched up the U.S. rights and Netflix has the rights everywhere else.
Right.
For the Studio Ghibli movies. They grabbed those US rights before Netflix was able to get to them, or Netflix didn't think that anyone would be interested in them, or that it was worth it in there. It's a bunch of people doing math on this stuff.
Yeah.
So somebody in the Netflix office probably was like, well, we would see this kind of viewership, but it wouldn't account in new subscribership or whatever. And really our numbers won't go up anymore if we spend this amount of money to license this stuff in the US. Yeah. We have it everywhere else where it's more popular. Especially, I imagine not all 21 of those movies are dubbed or English dubbed. I know a lot of Studio Ghibli movies are, but I imagine that maybe some of them aren't, and that's kind of a thing in the US that we don't like to read.
Yeah.
You know, we don't like to read subtitles, and it's like I always say, reading ain't never done nothing for nobody, and it ain't never gonna will.
I've heard that in a while.
But yeah, so that would be that. Man, I'm blown about that. Actually,
yep, same here.
I actually just watched Grave of the Fireflies.
That's one I need to watch. It's definitely on my to-do list. Is that dubbed or is it sub?
Maybe I won't talk about it much then.
Well, maybe I dubbed or sub. You can tell me that much.
It's dubbed. Yeah, it has a dub. It has a dub, and the dub is good.
Okay, I mean, Studio Ghibli is good for their dubs, but since Grave of the Fireflies is an older one, I figured I would ask.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the English dub was probably done later.
Yeah,
like maybe even years later. This I think it's 1988. I think is when the movie came out, and man, I had a lot to say about it, but now that you saying you actually gonna watch it, I don't know if I should talk about it because I want you to have your own experiences.
Well, we can come back to it. Just save it for next week.
Okay.
I'll
you gonna watch it?
I'll make sure
this
I watch it.
weekend?
I don't have nothing planned for this week.
Okay, so
other than Super Bowl.
Okay, so watch that, and then sometime after that, if you can, watch In This Corner of the World on Netflix.
Okay.
It is another anime film that is based around the same kind of topic of World War II.
I know what Grave. Yeah, I was say I know what Grave of Fireflies is about.
Well,
so
more saying for the audience, World War II in Japan.
Okay.
And yeah, but In This Corner of the World is a fantastic movie. And I think I will say this. I think that people, the way people talk about Grave of the Fireflies, I think they will be talking about In This Corner of the World.
Oh, so that's a new release.
Yeah, it's a new release.
Okay.
2017, I think. It's fairly recent. And yeah, I kind of been on an anime kick now. I don't know what.
Watched that My Hero Academia yet though.
I probably never will. It just doesn't seem like it's for me.
You gotta see it first. How you know?
It looked dumb. It looks juvenile.
You got to watch it, man. You got to check it out. Like, do like I do. I give anything 3 episodes. If it don't catch me by 3 episodes, it's in the trash. Even though people be trying to demand ridiculous numbers from you. I remember I talked to this one girl at Savannah State a long time ago. She was really into anime and everything. Even spoke some Japanese. Yeah. Coolest black girl I ever met, in my opinion, for a long time at least. Man, me and this girl date, so she got me into watching Fairy Tail. I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. I got like a little bit in. I pushed through and slept through most of it, but I made it to like episode 90 or something. I was just like, I'm really not feeling this, man. So I told her, she was like, well, how far did you get? I was like, I think I was like 90 or something. She was like, oh. She was like, no, you got to keep watching. It don't get really good until after episode 150. I'm like, are you out your mind?
Episode 150.
Yes, and I've heard similar things about One Piece and
why wouldn't you just skip to episode 150?
It's anime.
If it doesn't get good until episode 150, why am I watching those other episodes?
Because it's anime.
And what, I need background?
That's
why people do these hundreds of thousands of YouTube videos, probably.
Oh, man.
Of quick replays, like to catch you up. Okay, this is who this person is, and this is why you need to be worried about. This is this and that.
Well, that wasn't the thing, or at least it wasn't a known thing to me at that time. This was a nice long time ago, but actually, this might have been almost 10 years ago. Whew, Lord.
Oh.
Maybe 6 or 7, but that's still around 10. Dang, that's a long time ago. But anywho, yeah, so I did not watch that. No, but yeah, if you jump to episode 150 on an anime, especially a shonen anime, which for people who don't know, shonen are usually highly action based. But anyway, you would not know what the fudge tickle is going on.
Is it really that important though?
To me, it is. I like to know why people can do this, that, and the other thing. And if I just jump in 150 episodes in, I ain't gonna know who did it and why.
I feel like it should be 150 episodes in. I feel like there should be callbacks at some point.
I mean,
and you can still be able to figure out what's going on, what these people's history is with each other.
No, anime is bad enough with filler and stuff, and you trying to make them do more filler? No, that's why you start from 1 and make it to 150 or whatever it is you're trying to do. You're not jumping in the middle and expect to know what's going on. You can't watch the latest episode. You can't even do that with something like One Piece. One Piece is like 800 episodes long and still going. So if you try to jump in at the current season that's about to start, if it already started, I don't like One Piece, so I don't know 100%. But anywho, if you started the current season, How much callback can they do to catch you up for 800 episodes?
That's true.
They'll be rambling on for forever. Now everybody who do watch the show gonna be like, "Oh, we know this already."
That's true.
Like, who are we recapping? And granted, that is one of, if not the longest running anime there is. So it's like, it ain't a lot of things to throw on that plate with, but still, just using that as an example, that would be a horrible set of callbacks. So if somebody step on the scene, it's me. And then they got to go back through this flashback of why he's the issue.
Yeah. Okay.
I would be over it already.
I guess that's why I kind of like. That's why I kind of like either anime films or limited series.
Yeah.
That are gonna be, 1 or 2 seasons, and that's it. And they're gonna be great. And what?
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that. Side note: Netflix announced a live action One Piece TV show that they're gonna be doing. So, just
how do you do that live? Oh, is it gonna be Japanese?
It better be.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm like,
we don't need no Death Note repeats.
Yeah.
Or whatever anime movies they know, because they did the same thing with Guyver. They did the same thing with Fist of the North Star. They did the same thing with Dragon Ball Z. No Asian people in these live action remakes, and they drug. Well, the Guyver Zone was good, but that's it.
I still want to see Dragon Ball Evolution. Every time I talk about it, people tell stuff like, "No, don't do that to yourself." As a Dragon Ball fan, do not watch this movie.
Not even as a fan, like I tried to.
It's just a horrible movie, period.
Yeah, I was like, I know this is going to be trash, Dragon Ball wise. I've seen the trailer. The trailer is trash. So I know the movie going to be trash. Let me just try to give them their own chance. No, it still didn't work. The movie was dumb. It was stupid. No, it didn't make no sense in any way. And the crazy thing is, I hate that they do this creative liberty thing where they try to put their own spin on things because they think the actual thing does not make enough sense, and then y'all come up with something that's equally as ridiculous.
Right.
That don't make sense either. You should have just stuck with the stuff people already know. Dragon Ball is the most popular anime there is next to Pokemon. Everybody knows what it is. Who's coming to see this movie? 90% of them know what they're supposed to know. You don't have to pander to this audience that, that don't even know what this is. Of course, some nerdy guys drag their girlfriends or whatever to it, and they were lost, but they don't count. They didn't buy the tickets anyway.
Speaking of that, pretty much the U.S. as a whole only knew Dragon Ball Z for a long time.
Yeah.
Without knowing Dragon Ball at all.
Only a very select few people knew what Dragon Ball was at the time.
And there's a lot of history there.
True, but with the exception of probably 3 friends, nobody makes an appearance from the original, from Dragon Ball. Like, nobody.
Yeah.
Piccolo, like I said, some friends, but as far as enemies, they didn't run back into anybody again. Well,
Red Ribbon,
yeah, but I say they make a they don't, but it's not, they weren't nowhere near as big as
Is it Red Ribbon? What is it?
Yeah, it's Red Ribbon Army, yeah.
Red Ribbon Army.
But they weren't nowhere, but I say there's, the only thing that had anything to do with that was when they were fighting androids. Before that, Red Ribbon Army was never mentioned in Dragon Ball Z. Hell, after that either.
Yeah,
but
so you got that's where Master Roshi, Krillin,
Tien
and Piccolo,
and Chi-Chi. Yeah, the main cast, you meet them.
Yeah, and Bulma, and
you meet them in Dragon Ball. But outside of that, no, you don't even know. And Z starts off in a way where you can learn about these things, and they do flashbacks sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like when Goku got so powerful, Krillin had like a personal flash. But like, oh man, I remember we were kids, we were neck and neck, and now you way beyond me, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, you don't really have to. And then the reason was because Dragon Ball, they tried Dragon Ball here, we didn't like it. Like nobody watched it.
Huh.
So
I didn't know they tried it before.
Yeah, because Dragon Ball Z was finished in the late 80s. The anime it was. So
yeah, I know.
They had plenty of time to try to get it to us. But yeah, they tried Dragon Ball here. You can find like old intros and stuff of it, but it just didn't do good at all. But after
so did they try to air it on like Fox Kids or something?
I don't remember what they aired it on, because even before Cartoon Network got Dragon Ball Z, Fox used to show Dragon Ball Z really, or even before, which is the craziest time frame, because it used to come on before actual Fox Kids would.
Yeah,
they would show 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z with that horrible Oceanic dub, and then it would go into Fox Kids.
Yeah, I actually recall that.
Yeah, so, but I don't know when they tried to air Dragon Ball, but for whatever reason it flopped. So they was like, well, this one's more action packed, and we grew up on Power Rangers and everything. It's a lot more action.
Yeah, so there was some crossover with that,
so
with audience wise.
Right, so they was just like, well, let's try this one then. And it starts off with his son getting kidnapped, and they got to fight Raditz. So it was like right out the gate.
Yeah.
What is this? Like, it had us into it. So, hey, it worked. And then they went back after Funimation got involved with it and got the dub straight. And then Toonami was pretty much running the anime game here in the U.S. at the time. So they threw it in there then. I think it was popular enough. I remember everybody was kind of watching it because it was like, oh, man, you ever seen Dragon Ball? It's like when Goku was kids. It was like completely unknown at the time. Even by me, I didn't know about it either. So, so it ended up being fairly popular.
Was that the first? Was that the first anime they played like on Toonami?
I don't know if it was the first, but it definitely was. Because technically, people always say that, but technically, Pokemon is an anime. So,
was that playing on Toonami?
No,
Fox
had Pokemon on lock, and they were not letting that shit go.
I'm specifically talking about Toonami.
Yeah. Okay. As far as I can say, because when they started it, they
used to play.
They had a couple things. So
stuff, yeah.
I don't know if it was technically their first anime, but they had a few animes that came out around the same time as Dragon Ball Z. So.
Yeah.
But
I rewatched Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah.
Recently, yeah, and holds up quite well. So it's a great show, and
it is.
I wanted to watch it in the Japanese voices, and I could not change it.
Oh,
it's
not an option at all.
No, I could, but I was so
used to the original voices.
I was so invested and encapsulated in these voices that I heard as a kid, and listening to like the nuance. It doesn't sound like a dub at all.
No, and when matter of fact, I think you said it on the episode when we were talking about them doing the live action one. I think you even mentioned that it's regarded as the best dub, but there's a few anime that have good dubs, because Dragon Ball Z is one, but everyone always calls out Cowboy Bebop for the dub. Again, there's few contenders with it, but everyone always goes straight to Cowboy Bebop.
And I think this is what it is. It's not so much as the dub as it is the characters and the lines that they have with it. Not discounting the brilliant voice acting, but the characters are very realistic and relatable.
Even though it takes place in
and seeing
space thing.
It like nobody's like extremely over the top.
Like
even Ed is like,
just
I know kids like that.
Yeah, you know kids like Ed.
Kids like that.
Yeah. Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I kind of was thinking about doing like a thing.
And Ed is a girl.
Yes.
Ed is a girl. You say he.
Oh, I say he? Yeah. Well, probably because for most of my life I did not know Ed was supposed to be a girl.
Yeah.
But
and it's not at least in the English dub, it's not ambiguous.
Right. Well, it's say little kids.
In the first episode that Ed is in, at the end of the episode, like Ed and Faye are like tussling around and stuff, and like I think the credits have already started or something, because you don't see them, but Faye is like, oh, you are a girl. Yeah.
I don't like the way that sounds.
Yeah. So I don't know if she just got that curious. It was like pulled down her pants or what.
Oh Lord, that's funny. But I was thinking maybe, which I don't know if I'll be able to do it every episode, but I was thinking that maybe by doing like a anime recommendation thing ever so often, because I know people who always like, what's the big hype behind anime or whatever, and they have friends who watch anime and they try to get them into it, but people tend to have the wrong approach. But I know for a fact that I've brought a bunch of people over to anime by recommending stuff for them, and I figured out the formula is to give somebody an anime similar to what they already watch. Mm-hmm. The problem with when you normally ask somebody who's in the anime, oh, if I want to check out anime, what should I watch? And they'll just tell you what's popular. But that's not always a good idea, because what's popular isn't always appealing to, especially with somebody who already don't mess with this kind of stuff anyway. Right. Because it's a still strong group of thought that anything animated is for kids, when anime for the most part is definitely not. No. Not only that, you got stuff like Family Guy, sometimes the Boondocks, and sometimes the Simpsons, and definitely South Park that should not be watched by kids. Right. So, but still, you got people who think that way. Don't even get me started about on the heavy metal movies that came out back in the day. Or what's the Aeon Flux? Again, not for kids. Yeah. But they animated. So, but because I recently got a friend into Initial D, which is a street racing anime. Yeah. Not really that well known. It's a popular one, I guess, amongst people who watch it, because they ran for a nice long time, but regular people wouldn't know what it was. So I mentioned it to her, and she was just like, "Oh, this was actually pretty good." And I was like, "Well, I figured if you make it past the first episode, you might like it." But it came out in like 98, so I was like, it's gonna look pretty rough. It's on Hulu, matter of fact. So I was like, it's gonna look pretty rough, but I was like, if you can get past that, you'll enjoy it. And she did. And then before I knew it, she was on episode 4. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, and I've done that a few times, so I figured it might be something I could do on here every once in a while. So like, hey, if you watch such and such, you should check this out. It's anime, blase, blase.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have any problem with that.
Oh yeah, I know, but it was a thought. I might do it. I don't know. If I get any comments or somebody come up to me and ask me about it. Matter of fact, I recently had a conversation with my cousin Tommy. He's a listener of ours as well. And he was trying to check out some drama podcasts, which is how we kind of got on the topic of it in the first place. Yeah. After the last episode. So, and yeah, I recommended some to him, so we'll see if he checked those out. Okay. But yeah, so that might be something.
But always remember, come back here. Come back here and listen. Don't leave us. Don't leave us for some other drama podcast. We got drama too.
They ain't competition for us. Completely different content.
It is, but it's still time. Some people only have a certain amount of time they can
that's true.
Delegate to listen to podcasts.
Yeah, that's true.
Not everybody can be like me and have a job where I can wear headphones all day and listen to podcasts all day. That's what I do. I listen to podcasts all day. Mostly on gaming and tech, but that's what I listen to.
Yeah, I listen to I listen to Star Talk Radio, Geeked Up, and whatever drama podcast I listen to at the time. I listen to Joe Rogan. I used to listen to Joe Rogan all the time. It used to just be Joe Rogan or Star Talk. But ever since I started finding other podcasts to listen to, not so much Joe Rogan anymore. So
yeah, and Joe Rogan goes across every he does a little bit of everything on his podcast. He does a little bit of everything himself. He's just talking. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, is there anything he hadn't done yet? Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not very much.
I don't think so. But that also makes it more difficult to get into just Joe Rogan. I mean, you have to really just like him in the way that he is interviewing people and stuff. He has different people on there all the time.
That's fact. Isn't he the most popular podcast?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. In people, so people just
a pinch that.
yeah, so people just come in for one episode they get recommended by somebody because they know that you follow this person that he had on, and you go in there and listen to it. The reason I'm saying that is because I listen to Joe Rogan, and it's just not for me. Like, for the most part, he has had guests on there that I listen to that episode, those episodes, and I love it. Like, I'm all about, like, I love the way, like, he's talking to the people, and interviewing them. But then when, it's other people I don't care about, maybe never heard of, or just not interested in the subject matter, I'm just, okay. Yeah. Not listen to this other podcast, geek stuff I'm listening to all the time, because that's just what I'm into. And I listen to a daily gaming podcast. So, man.
Daily gaming?
Yeah, just daily gaming news and stuff.
Daily?
Yeah.
Is it really daily?
Daily, yeah.
Sheesh. Man, they ain't got no full-time job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kind of Funny Games Daily is what it is.
That's actually pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I seen you videos every once in a while. Yeah. Like if they're talking about something that really, when I'm sending it to you, I just want you to see like the headline, because and if you wanted to listen to it, you could hear a little something about that. But anyway, now we are rambling. Anything else you want to get out there?
I wasn't rambling.
Well, I was rambling.
Did you see the new Fast and Furious 9 trailer?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's absolutely nothing to do with street racing at all anymore.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's strange.
I mean, Hobbs and Shaw didn't have anything to do with street racing, which is probably why they didn't call it Fast and the Furious, because it was like a super spy type thing they had going on, which the movie was good. Actually, as far as action movies go, like if you looking for something artistic, I wouldn't waste your time. But it definitely is a good action movie. But this one kind of piggybacks off the Hobbs and Shaw thing. But then again, Fast and Furious 8 was kind of like a super spy type thing as well too. So it's Fast and the Furious is a long way away from that now. So
they lost me at about 6.
I still watch it. Granted, I did enjoy the street racing stuff, but I don't mind a good action movie. It don't need to have a lot of kind of I'm okay with a bit of imagination. So
which one are they in Brazil?
A couple of them, I believe, actually.
Oh, okay.
Meaning particular, anything specific happened that triggered a memory?
They were robbing
gas trucks.
No, they were robbing like a bank. They were stealing a vault. Like,
yeah. I don't remember exactly which one that was. That might have been 6.
Okay, that was 6 then. Just trying to figure out when it was that I left out, because I liked the movie, but I was just like, it's just not for me. Yeah. But, I also don't care anything about cars. You know why? Because I hate driving. Yeah. Can't stand it. I don't want to watch a whole movie about other people doing this thing I hate. All right.
Yeah, it stands for some creative driving in it.
All right. Anything besides that? You got 3 minutes.
Super Nintendo Land confirmed to open at Universal Orlando theme park. Is that.
Okay.
Also, a full-size Gundam. If you don't know what a Gundam is basically a giant robot similar to what the Power Rangers jump in. But Gundam is from an anime, and it is extremely popular. Japan has made a giant Gundam statue a long time ago, but it's not so much as a regular statue. It looks exactly like a giant robot, which it basically is. Well, now this giant Gundam is going to walk.
Whoa. The same one? Or they're making a different one?
Nope, the same one. 18-meter tall Gundam is going to walk in Japan.
So they had to be putting in this infrastructure beforehand.
I think they were. It seemed like
I don't see how you make this thing and then go back and retrofit it to walk.
It probably was originally meant to do some kind of movement, but they probably just couldn't get it to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, because they even say it's gonna be a harness attached to the waist to stop it from falling. So this is gonna be the first time, and it is not walking far. It's gonna walk blah 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 blah. It's supposed to be walking around.
Do Gundams? Yeah, I guess they do.
Do what?
Sometimes I just feel like do they just walk the Gundams because they fly? So it's like, why would you?
Well, I've seen them
walk
like
if
run
you
and
fly?
Stuff, or like boosted fly to war. So I mean, I guess you could technically walk it, but yeah, they're battle robots. So yeah, no one's trying to walk. Robot.
Yeah, I fell out with Gundam stuff a long time ago. That's why I'm like thinking about it. Like, I don't really even
Gundam
remember
is
how
like
things
Final
work.
Fantasy. They all stand alone. Unless it's
the series.
Yeah, unless it's like specifically tied. No, they all stand alone. Iron Blood Orphans was my favorite.
Yeah, that was a more recent one.
Yeah, and it's probably for bias reasons. They have the most dark skinned characters I've ever seen on any anime. With the exception of
what is for bias reasons?
They have the most dark skinned characters.
Oh, okay. I thought you were responding to something that I said. I just said it was the most recent one. Oh, okay.
But I say they have a lot of dark skinned characters on
Oh, okay.
I would say black characters, but very rarely on anime do they ever disclose that this person's supposed to be black or Indian or whatever. We just gonna go with dark skinned characters. So
yeah. That's like Michiko and Hachin.
Yeah, they're supposed to be Hispanic or something like that. But
they black, but
it's
based in Spain. It's based in Spain, and they're which did. Well, I think it was Spain in general. It was Spain in general. But like I don't know that they probably did go to Mexico at one point because she's on the run from the law. So
But
that about it.
I mean, I guess
you had a lot.
Rush this stuff off.
We gonna let you run the show. You need to step up and run the shows. Sometimes you got all these nice little topics. Come on. I got a birthday party to get to.
Yeah, no, we good, man. That's cool.
All right, so everybody remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, anything possible you could do to show that you mess with us. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Deuces.